Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. My guest lecturer today is Autism Speaks activist and plus-size model Christina Mendez. Christina has an impressive resume of highly profiled television fashion segments that include Telemundo, The Today Show, Project Runway, and she dedicates her spare time to Autism Speaks, a charity that is close to her heart. Welcome back to Model Behavior, Christina Mendez. Hey Mama, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming back and being with us again today. Now, when I spoke to you off camera, I told you that I really want to focus on your freelancing career because everybody wants to know how to do that successfully. But I'm going to start with the questions on my little card that Sabrina gave me. And they're really good questions. So what she's asking is, your most recent social media posts have been about accepting your curves. Why do you feel that that's something you have to talk about? Why is that important to you?
I feel now with this big buzz about plus size, what is plus size, I'm not plus size, I am plus size, I feel it's important for people who are okay with being plus size to express themselves. I am okay with my size, I'm okay with being curvy, you can call me plus size, you can call me curvy, you can call me whatever you want, just call me. It's my lingo, just call me.
Well, what do you think, because I mean, I prefer plus over things I was called earlier when I was doing it. Like the BBW, I don't really like
I don't like
that term.
I don't like that one.
So I don't really see anything wrong with it. And I think that if you, for me, plus size fits me because I can only shop where there are clothes in my size.
Exactly.
So you need that label. And like I said, when we had the screening for the 66%, you take away the plus size label, and to me that sends a message to 7th Avenue that they were right all along, and they are so wrong on this. So, so your mantra is accepting your curves.
My mantra is curves are in.
Curves are in.
They've always been in, but now it's becoming popular to other people that never believed that they were in. So curves are in, and I'm proud to have them.
Now, where do you feel, with all the stuff that's happening in the industry today, where do you feel the plus size, curvy modeling fashion business is headed?
It's headed to the top. I mean, it's been a slow progress up from when I started, and I'm sure like you can see it in another level. But I mean, it was slow going up, but we're up right now.
But let me say this: I don't think it's ever been slow. Because the period when I first started coming into
you said it was really
booming. A lot of work there. And it was brand new then. There was lots and lots of work. And then the heroin chic period came in, and everybody was literally dying to be skinny. And there was a backlash, and it just sort of went away. So there's a resurgence of it now, but it's always been there.
I think I went in the went away section. That's when I came in. So it was really low when I came in. It was like, kind of, even when I used to tell people I'm a plus size model, they used to be like, giving me the shady eye, like, what is that and what are you talking about?
Now you can say them checks though.
Exactly, but now you can say I'm a plus size model. They can relate to someone they've at least seen on TV. Before when I started, there was no one that was like at the top.
Now, what do you think that there'll ever be? I don't even know if solution is the right word, but some sort of end to this drop the plus and all this other stuff that's going on. Fat people ain't going nowhere, people.
Pretty much.
Kids are coming out the womb with size 12 feet and a size 14, so y'all got to deal with this.
Exactly.
So when does the discussion finally, I guess, end?
It starts with us. Like, people don't understand the power of social media is us. The more we continue to talk about it, the hotter and trendier it'll be. The more you post about it, the trendier it'll be. When you just shut up and just move on.
And accept things.
And just move on. Say, this is what I am. You call yourself whatever you want. I mean, whatever happened to mind your own business?
Hello?
Be whatever you want to be. I could care less. I know what I am, and let's continue on with this train of success. I think we are feeding this horrible trends of what's plus, what's not plus.
Well, and I can understand the argument because I mean, I know I'm plus, but there are people who look at me and, well, you're not plus size. I got that all throughout my career.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, but I don't really want to tell you how much I weigh, but because I'm 6 feet tall, the weight is distributed different. But I'm plus size too. I don't think I should have to defend my position at this point.
But people, that's what's going on in social media. People are defending it, and now it's becoming trendy. People are defending. I'm not. Like, just whatever. Just keep moving on instead of making it so, exactly.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Do you
stop it.
Lastly, you don't ever get to make me feel bad about me, so y'all can just miss me with that mess.
Exactly.
Now let's get back to the business of Christina Mendez, and you're a freelance model.
I am.
Let's talk about one, how you got started, why you're not signed, and the benefits of being a freelance model versus being a signed one.
Well, my story is a little different. I don't consider myself like a conventional story of how I got started. I used to model in high school, and like I mentioned before, I never really had anyone that I could resemble. There was no one on TV. There was not a high plus size supermodel that I knew of on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I didn't have that. So growing up, I just thought it would be a hobby. I had fun doing a couple of little fashion shows. I had fun doing a couple of little photo shoots. I never thought it was serious, like a hobby. Like chicks cheerlead, I was doing modeling as a hobby. I was always curvy. I'm not a tall girl.
How tall are you?
I ain't gonna say that on TV.
Okay.
So I'm tall enough.
You're working, so.
But I'm not tall. Let's be honest. I'm not tall. I'm not 5'9" and up or 5'9". So I just never thought I had a future. I had a son when I was young, a teenage pregnancy. I had him. Pretty much left modeling or even the thought of modeling. Didn't even think of it. My son was diagnosed with autism when he was 2.
Okay.
And they said he would never speak. You should put him in a home. You're a young girl, so you can continue with your life. You put him in a home, you go visit him. At least you have an opportunity to live your life. And I just never. I was like, there's no way. I'm not gonna do that.
Who does that?
A doctor. That's how they diagnosed him. And back then, autism wasn't something that was popular. I didn't know anything about it.
People didn't really know what it was.
I mean, when she told me your son is autistic, I thought she said artistic. I was like, he loves to draw.
Christina.
I did it.
Okay.
Guys, I was young. Sorry. So, and I was like, yeah, he's very artistic. But the way she delivered it, I knew that it wasn't good news. She was like, I need you to really take this serious. I was like, what are you talking? Like, I'm just so confused right now. So, yeah, it was really hard for me. I left everything. I left work. I left school. I had a little part-time. I left school. And I just took all my time to teach him. I made his room into a classroom. I went, back then there was not Google, to tell you the times, okay? I used to sit in the library, you know, Indian style, and just take out books and read and read and read and read just about autism, what to do better. Then Google came and I did that. But that was all I did for the last 6 years after he got diagnosed until he spoke. Now he speaks Spanish, English, French, sign language. He has a part-time at Old Navy. He's doing very well.
They've made incredible strides.
Yes.
With diagnosing it early and then coming up with ways to try to, what's the word?
To just better him, so he can
teach them to communicate.
Exactly. Because I mean, it's just the way they communicate differently than me and you.
Right.
But if you teach them early on, they can at least mask it to be able to communicate with us. But yeah, so with that said, I was really, when he started speaking and when he started going to school and I felt a lot comfortable, I got really depressed. Like, grief kind of hit me backwards. Like, I was in work mode trying to get him, pushing it. When he was okay and I felt comfortable that he could go to after school and he could do play dates, I had nothing to do with myself, nothing. I had no friends. I didn't have a man. I didn't have nothing because all I did was all about my son. So I got really, really depressed. Like, no hair, no makeup, no nails. I think I was at size 22 At that point,
Whoa.
I would eat you, girl. I was eating everything and anything in my way. I was so depressed. And one day at this little part-time job I had, this guy was like, you have an amazing smile. You should model your teeth. I was like, the nerve of this dude telling me I can model. I was like, I used to model when I was in high school. He was like, oh, you're right. And that made me like, oh, I'm going to show this guy. And Google was back. Google was there now. I Googled like teeth model. I was like, what the heck is he talking about? And plus size models came up. I don't know. Like it just gave me all type of models, plus size being one of them.
Okay.
Plus size being one of them. And I was like, hey, I fit into the size. I was really big by then, but it was a range. And I was like, I can try this out. I went into Craigslist.
You started on Craigslist?
Yes. I used to get a lot of gigs
Actually,
on Craigslist.
no, let me shut up. Let me just roll it back because I've gotten quite a few castings from Craigslist.
Don't go on Craigslist
too.
now.
I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, don't do that now.
But the work was plentiful a while back.
Yes. So I went on Craigslist. It was a fashion show casting. I went there and I got it. My first show. And that's when I met Crystal Frazier.
And you became the face of her line for a long time, right?
And through her, I got Rip the Runway, and through her, I got Project Runway. So it's kind of like she brought me along with her in her journey while I was having my own journey. So I'm very appreciative of her.
Wait, whoa. You did Project Runway when Crystal was?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to go back and look.
Yes.
Okay, I must have missed that. Okay, all right. But what was that experience like, Project Runway?
It was really good. I mean, I was excited to be part of her journey because I know, struggling. I know how a struggling artist is. Being freelance, I know that. You try, you put money in things, and sometimes things hit, and sometimes they don't hit. And I was just proud of her at that moment. So I was just glad to be there.
That stuff looked good on you. Let me just tell you.
Thank you.
Everything looked amazing. I bought one of those dresses that you wore thinking that I could rock it the same way.
You rocked it fly that year in Full Figure Fashion Week because I remember.
Oh, no, I'm talking about
the
another
orange
dress.
one?
No,
okay.
No, this is another one. Yeah, it didn't look like it looked on you. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so you like freelancing more so than agency stuff?
I think I haven't had the right agent represent me. I honestly feel that getting an agent should be like getting a boyfriend. He should like you more than you like him.
Absolutely.
So I've never had an agent that liked me more than I liked them. And I've had 3 agents and 2 that are top that people might know. And I just didn't feel the
Did you
love.
work or did you?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. And I was
and
on
you feel
boards.
but you feel like you weren't working because you weren't being pushed enough?
I think so. I mean,
because I've seen that happen.
That's how I felt. And to one of them, I actually approached them and I said, is there any reason why I'm not working? Because at that time I had tried the freelance and then tried the agency. I said I was kind of working, not a lot, but I was working when I was freelance. He was like, they're not into Spanish girls this season. And I was like,
okay, I really can't believe somebody said that.
Yeah, no. And I was like, okay, have you tried to push me as African American? I am both. You can mix me up. I could be whatever you want me to be.
But then I feel
they said that no. So that was my last agency attempt, and I was just like, let me just do this on my own. I feel confident enough to push myself if I need to, and I can articulate, and I can network, and I can do all the things that I feel I needed.
Let me ask you this: now, when you were signed with the agencies, because one of the things I admire about you is your hustle. Christina Mendez gonna find her some work.
Exactly.
Okay? But was your hustle that strong when you got an agent, or did you pull it back because you expected them to do what you were doing?
I did because I was signed exclusively with these folks, so I was told I couldn't get my own stuff, and a couple of times I had agents and I hustled a job. And when I brought it to the agency, they went ahead and gave it to another model. And it happened to me twice. And I was like, okay.
I will cut your
So I've had a lot of bad experiences.
Can they do that?
They can do whatever the hell they want. They've done it to me. I'm sure that that's not legal, but they'll say that the client went on another direction.
See, this is why, because I be on the phone with the business I just hustled. Hey, could you tell me why I wasn't booked for this gig after we already talked about this?
And I've had one where I've hustled it, And now my 2-day booking became 1 booking because now they brought in another girl. I guess they said, hey, you know, I have another girl. I got Sharon for you too. Instead of you booking Christina for 2 days, we got Sharon and could do 2 at the same time. And cut me off of a day. So I was just like, this is not going to work for me. So I became a freelance model, and
And you work all the time, don't you?
I love it. I don't know if I work all the time compared to an agency model, but I'm
No,
happy
but when
with
I
the
say
work
you
I
work
get.
all the time, you don't have a straight 9 to 5.
I do not.
Right. So yeah, you do. You are actually doing it. You're
Yes.
working. You're living
Yes.
off of what you make as a model.
Yes. I mean, I do other side jobs. I'm a project manager, so I do contracting work, but plus size is my bread and butter.
See, that's what. And what's the trick to making that freelance thing work? Because there's a lot of chicks that are trying to do it, but they don't really know what they're doing. So how is it working for you?
My advice, and I know it's going to sound harsh, ladies.
Be harsh. It's okay. That's what this is for. We teach in
My
here.
advice is when you come with a crew, it makes it hard to hustle. Like, I see a lot of new girls starting off with like 5 girl deep. They hang out, they go to events together. You can't negotiate a gig when your friend want to be a plus size and your friend and they
you
all
can't
like
stand out in a pack like that.
You can't. And then when you go and introduce yourself and try to make that business connection, the other girl next to you is like, and my comp card, and a client that's overbearing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So it's like, I don't know how to tell you yes and tell your friend no and tell you no. So everybody get a no. How about that? You all knows. So I think as a freelance, you gotta ride solo until you're that well known that they be like, Christina, I gotta talk to you from the side. But you can't grow with a group. And I've seen a lot.
You know how many times I have said this to so many girls who I think have whatever
I
it
do
is.
too.
It's like, hey, you need
do
to cut
too.
the click, go away from the click and do
For a
your
little
own thing.
bit, I
Because they
don't.
following you because they know that you have what it takes and they don't.
Exactly. And I do that. And I'm like, I don't want you to feel like you can't have model friends. You can. Just
don't
when it
drag
comes
them
to
with you, though.
Yeah, when it comes to business, you be like, look, I'm doing Full Figure Fashion Week this whole week. I'm going to meet you by the bar around 3. Don't look for me, I look for you.
Yep.
And then just keep going and hustle. I was hustling from the beginning. Like, I would go to events, I have the business card. I'm on LinkedIn watching everyone's face. I want to see who's the CEO, how does he look. I want to map them out.
And that's what it's all about. You
Yes.
need to know who the people are
Exactly.
that are controlling the work
Exactly.
that you want to get.
Exactly.
Back when I was, and I know I keep dating myself when I say back when I was doing it, but they used to have in like Vogue and Glamour, they had the back of the magazine where it says where to shop.
Yep.
And the girls that came up with me during that first period, baby, we would rip that where to shop out, take down those addresses, be mailing out comp cards and pictures. A lot of people got work like that.
Yeah, people don't hustle like that no more.
Nobody wants to work.
Nothing. And they don't know agents do that. That's how agents get gig. Like they don't just some of them get it dropped in their lap, but other agents hustle.
Yeah,
to
most
get
people
them
have to
gigs.
hustle.
Yes.
And the mindset of today's model is it's troubling. You know, and I've spoken to some of my old agents now that are still in the business. They said it's changed, and it's changed to the point where they don't like what they're doing anymore.
I hear
The
that.
girls don't want to. They don't. I don't know what this thing is with not wanting to test. It's like, so you're gonna have this stinking car for 6-8 months.
years.
You ain't working nowhere. You don't think it's time for you to shoot another
Yep.
one? And you tell them the same stuff over again. Don't style your own shoe.
Money.
Don't do your own makeup. Don't do your own hair unless your hair look like mine. They don't listen. And
They don't want to spend money.
then
And
you shouldn't be in this
Exactly.
business.
Just like any business, you got to
The
spend
overhead
money.
on this is not cute.
Exactly. It's like any business. You got to spend money. You got to give out a couple of samples. You got to do a couple of free stuff. You got to talk to the right people. You got to be at the right events, network, conference, all that. You got to do. That's what business owners do. If you're the new bakery in town, guess what? Everyone's going to taste your bake. Here's a cupcake. Let me show you. You're going to go to wherever they need cakes at. It's the same approach. And
Yep.
models are just...
And let me tell you, if you get 30 seconds with someone, you better know what you're about to say in them 30
Exactly.
seconds.
I always say you got to have your
Yep,
elevator
you better
speech.
know what you're going to say in those 30 seconds.
Blah, blah, blah. This is what I want to do. Where can I get in contact? You better have a business
Yep.
card.
Or something.
Yeah, something.
And do you still have, the business is changing so fast. Now they don't use portfolios. Now they want everybody to have their stuff on
Have an
iPads,
iPad.
which I
I have, and I have the book.
Yeah, no.
I try to get modern because I'm a freelance model. I got to look like agency girl. So I saw a couple of castings and girls were pulling out their iPads. I was like,
And let me just say that I think that's discriminatory.
but I had to buy one.
No, I'm
saying,
I think that's some DL discriminatory shit because iPads are not cheap.
Now, who are you telling?
$600, $700, $800.
Exactly.
So you can't come up with $600 for your photo shoot. Where you getting the $600 from an iPad? So that's going to knock you right out of the competition. Exactly. And I think they know that, which is why they instituted this shit.
Yep. I just want to, I have to appear just like them. I can't be like, oh, she got a book because she a freelance. So I had to ditch out from my pocket. Yeah,
that's it. Now they have this thing where you got to sign, they do everything on the net. So you got to sign up to be on the website. The overhead is way more. When I started doing it, and it was a lot when I was doing it. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous now.
That's why girls are not trying.
And there's so, but then get out the way and let somebody who's seriously, wanting to make a mark in this business do that.
Yep.
Get your little 5'2", 400-pound behind out the way because you're wasting time.
Exactly.
Get in where you fit in. Everybody wants to be exotic. Okay, maybe your look is not exotic. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're more Flo from Progressive or the Pine Sol lady. Laugh all you want. They paid. They making a lot of money. They make a lot of money. So if you look like them and you can do what they're doing, what are you wasting your time coming to this runway show that you're not going to get picked for? Come on.
And then get mad and bash things on Snap and on social media.
You keep talking about Snapchat. I don't really know how to do that. She's trying to play me, y'all, because I'm not up on Snapchat and what's the other one? Periscope?
I don't do that one.
Yeah, I got them both on my phone. I don't know how to use them.
Yeah, I don't do it.
All right, so we done digress completely off topic. So we talked about freelancing versus agency and
both are good. They both have their pros and cons. Agency, freelance, both have pros and cons. I think with non-agency girls, you got to work harder because now you have to appear like an agency girl.
Say that again.
Appear like an agency girl.
And what does that mean?
That means everything from your book to your look to the style to like the iPad. That's the trend. You got to match that trend. You got to see. You got to keep your eyes and ears on the streets because it's nobody representing you that knows the ins. So I'm like hearing at castings like, what did she say that they now need what? They now doing black T-shirts only? They now doing black jeans? Yeah. I gotta keep my ears on the streets.
Now, Christina, in addition to the modeling, because I always tell people, don't just limit yourself to modeling. Do you do the acting too? Do you do commercials
I've done
stuff
commercials,
like that?
Yeah, but I haven't done like full-blown movies. I'm not bad. But commercials, I feel comfortable. I could do a couple of lines.
So you don't think you have the...
I don't...
Or is it just something you're not really... Yeah, you ain't really feeling it? Unless that stream of income ran past your face. And you're like, how much you want me how much you paying me to say this line?
I'll be like,
okay. I'm an actress.
I've said lines before, but in a commercial. not full blown, I can't cry and all that. No, it's too much.
No, but you're funny. So you might want to look in that direction. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say it. I'm not supposed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. So you're the face, not the face. You're the new model of the year. You just got that award.
I hear that,
right?
Yes.
Tell me what that feels like.
It feels amazing. It feels freaking amazing. My speech, I'm like preparing it daily. Like I'm in the tub and I'd be like, ooh, it's good, it's good. I don't want to write it. I just want to say from the heart.
You better.
But I practice it enough that I could recite that stuff to you right now.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. Because then I would really get in trouble.
It's very
Only
emotional.
Christina and I know what I'm talking about.
It's very emotional.
But how did that make you feel? Did that validate everything you've been, trying to do?
Honestly, I gotta see it to believe it. It feels so good that it feels like fake. Like I want to see the award. See it. It's so amazing. When something is so good, it's that good. I've always felt like the oddball. I don't have an agent. I always get you're not plus enough, you're not big enough, you are too big, you're not. Like, I always get, I feel like the shitty end of the stick sometimes. And I don't know, sometimes I used to tag, but I stopped being petty about it. But I was like, I'm the underdog. I feel like the underdog a lot.
Girl, you ain't nobody's underdog.
I feel like that. Like, I'm the one that people have said, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. But I have.
Yeah, have some of this pie right here. Because you're doing
Yeah.
You doing what you want to do.
I am. But it's always difficult. Being a freelance model is hard for your self-esteem sometimes.
Well, being a model is hard for your
Exactly.
self-esteem.
But sometimes you feel like you're not getting stuff enough, or I didn't even hear about that, and if I had an agent that cared, that it's just a
Let me wrap
crappy
this all up
feeling.
in a bow for you.
Yeah.
When it's yours, it's
It is.
yours.
Exactly. I do
If
say
you don't
that.
get it, it ain't meant for
meant to
you.
be. Yep.
And that's how you have to look at things
Exactly.
and just move on.
That's
Because
how-
you'll get stuck there and be bitter. And if
Exactly.
you're going to be bitter, you don't need to be in this
and
business.
that's why I'm not. And that's
Yeah.
why, all these things are happening. But I'm just excited because when I heard about the award, I kind of remembered everything that I went through that pointed that I would never get that award. So that was it's just an amazing feeling.
And that
And I'm gonna
is a
freaking cry.
testament to how the body of work that
Yes.
you've put together.
And I'm excited. So excited.
You are so funny.
This is the first time I'm gonna bring my son to an event.
Really?
So, because I really feel that this award needs to be
Your whole
dedicated to him.
family.
My family is not supportive. That is one of my biggest issues. My family is not a supportive bunch. They're not.
Yo, but you
Yeah.
everywhere.
And my mother just got on Facebook for the first time. Like,
Oh, mine
a
too,
couple-
girl. And she wearing me out.
She's wearing
Love
me
you,
out.
Ma.
She is wearing me out to the point where she was like, "These pictures look like you're a real model." I was like, I was about to block her, but I didn't. I just deleted her freaking comments.
She said you looks like you're a real model.
They don't believe. Like, I'm not.
But
When
you've
I'm
been
home,
in magazines. You've been
I
on
don't
television.
even. Sometimes I don't even say it. It doesn't, because I didn't feel that it would get. And now that she's on Facebook, she's like, "When was
Yo,
this?"
they
I'm
don't
like,
even know
"Years
about the
ago."
Christina
Not
Mendez
at
fan
all.
club.
I've never had any support like from a family to come to an event. If anyone sees me, I come to fashion shows, I take my book, and I'll be the first one with my little suitcase leaving. I never have like, the group of people like, "Oh my God, I came to," I've never, ever, ever, ever in all these years, it's been almost 12 years, I've never had any support. So now that she's on Facebook, she can actually see, she's like, "You have over 167 people commenting on your picture." I'm like,
Okay, Ma. Really?
She was like,
Try to get to where I am. Catch
I
up.
just be like, whatever. Like,
You should invite your mom to the.
she won't go.
You don't think so?
She won't go. She won't go. She won't go to an event that's like, I did a couple of stuff for Ashley Stewart in the Harlem store. I don't live far from there. She won't go. I would tell. She knows that I'm there. I mean, she
I
won't
got
go.
to meet Mama Mendez.
No, Mama Mendez is a special.
Oh man. All right, so I want to make sure that you've gotten out everything you want to say. Now we got about 2 minutes left. Is there
Okay.
anything else? First of all, you got a website.
I do.
Throw that out there, please.
www.ChristinaMendez.com, and it links to all my social media. I'm super involved with social media.
What you're on Facebook, you're on Snapchat,
Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter.
Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, everything.
Okay, you're doing everything. All right. We're almost out of time. I would like to thank my guest, Christina Mendez.
We got to do part 2
Why?
because there's so much. I have so much other stuff to say.
I told you to say what you.
It was too much.
Okay. Like I said, we're almost out of time. I'd like to thank my guest, Christina Mendez, for sharing her industry knowledge with us today. Now, before I go, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. I want you to, 1, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. 2, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. 3, do what you love and love what you do. And 4, be who you are, but be who you are tastefully. Always have a little class about yourself. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye. And I don't need music, so.